Hello friend, Jim here with JBsBigAdventure coming to you from Lake Chapala, Mexico. And yes, in this video, I'm going to be talking about digital nomads because they're becoming more and more popular as people are moving here because they know and heard about Lake Chapala. So what I want to do is I'm going to share with you some things that you're going to want to know about if you're a digital nomad. And I also want to let you know that the fact that the age of individuals that are actually moving here now aren't in their late 60s and early 70s and up. I've got folks I've come across that are in their late 30s, early 40s. Some moving here with their families, but still working from home as a digital nomad. I've even got some folks in their 50s that are digital nomads that are actually working, whether it be contact center work, whether it be dealing with customer service. There's a lot of different examples that I could share with you. So what I real quickly wanted to do is to share some things with you. And that is, there was a time where Mexico was not allowing digital nomads that were going back and forth real quickly to necessarily get a 180-day visa. Now, they had it during COVID, but after COVID, what they were doing was they were actually constricting the number of people that were coming just to stay here for 6 months. But they've actually been a lot less restrictive of that now. So as you're coming, all you want to make sure you do is check when you get to immigration in Guadalajara is that they stamp your book if you're looking at being here for 6 months or 180 days, that they in fact put on there the 180 days for you. Some of the attractions, if you are a digital nomad, is that there's a really low cost of living here. You can live anywhere from 50, 60, 70% less than what you're living on in the States. I'm sharing that with you as being someone that's now lived here at Lake Chapala, Mexico for the last 3 years. There's a great selection of Mexican food. The culture, the bright colors, and the Mexican people are warm. This is really a great place if you're looking at getting somewhere else that you want to become and work as a digital nomad and be in a place that maybe you're working on your retirement years. There's a strong expat community where there are 1.6 million Americans that actually live in Mexico. The highest concentration of them are actually here at Lake Chapala. During the low season, which is from April to November, there's approximately 35,000 expats that are calling Lake Chapala home. And then when we're in the high season, which is when folks are living here for 6 months, then go back, that starts in November and goes through to April. So those are the time frames that you can know that if you're looking at coming down, that if you're looking for less people being here, that you'd want to come in the low season. Also, it's easy to do banking here. Very easy. Barbara and I, we've lived here now for 3 years, as I've mentioned, and our Social Security check actually is deposited in our U.S. bank account. And all we do is just use our debit card at the ATMs. It's real easy to be able to get pesos and just to make your life easier instead of having to think you got to bring, pesos down with you. They're very accessible. And the nice thing here about some of the ATMs is, and you can reach out to me if you're wanting to know where those at, but you can actually go and what they'll do is they'll give you the opportunity of getting their lowest exchange rate. You can decline that, and by declining it, you'll end up getting their higher exchange rate. That's a good tip to know. The best time of season is to be here, the rainy season, which we're actually in right now. Now, it started somewhat in June, July. It normally goes through August, maybe sometimes even into September. But this is when we get the rain. Year-round, the average temperature is between 68 and 72 degrees. So it's very, very nice. It's like an eternal spring. It is the number 2 climate in the world. That's important to share with you per National Geographic magazine. I was reading my next sentence. Okay, so some folks think that when you come to Mexico, you don't have to speak Spanish. And I would say that that's incorrect. I would say that everyone that comes to live in Mexico embrace the culture and have a desire to learn Spanish. Now, I'm working on mine. I'm really fortunate. There's a gal that I've been really looking forward to that's moving here. Well, they've already arrived. That is actually going to be teaching Spanish. And I'm planning on having the group of expats that are part of our channel supporters that want to be a part of that. So that's something that's a real powerful. And I would say you don't necessarily have to speak Spanish, but just know that it's a lot better to be able to speak their language than is requiring them to speak our language, and we're in their country as guests. So just keep that in mind. Access to internet. It all depends. There are 20 miles between Jocotepec and Chapala. And what's important to know about that is not every area in those 20 miles has fiber optic. Fiber optic is how you get fast internet speed here at Lake Chapala. Now, there is another service that actually provides fast internet that also has television all connected to it, and that's called Total Play. But the fiber optic is going to be the best option for you. Now, we actually have 300 megs, and we only pay $35 for that because I need it to be able, the faster speed, to upload the videos to YouTube. So that's also something important to know, that when you're here, when you're looking for a place, and if you are looking for a place, you can reach out to me, and I can make sure to actually refer you to my #1 rental agent in all of Lake Chapala. Also, you'll be able to connect with other expats that are here as digital nomads, because of the fact there is a group of them here. And I would say that would be an easy flow for you to be able to meet folks that are like-minded, just like you and what you're doing here. Also, there's an active nightlife here. Now, when we first got here, we were told there was no nightlife. There was no places that had live music. And you know, I'm just amazed. I'm amazed at what people will talk about and say that are untruths, that are lies. That I don't know why they would say that, but we were brand new here and had no idea. There are restaurants. In fact, there are bands that are playing every night somewhere at restaurants that you can actually go to and enjoy live music during your meal. So that's something you ought to know too, that, you know, there's live music, there's dancing and such also. There's a very, very artsy community here, a place where you're actually able to be a part of a community and a culture that actually believes in bright colors and beautiful paintings of old Mexico, and also a lot of other things too. But that's a very live thing here, is the art community. It's very accessible to get to Lake Chapala from the airport. Now, it's only a half an hour ride, and you can either take a taxi or you can get a private driver. And if you're looking for some reliable private drivers, you can also reach out to me by email, and I'll make sure that we connect. Go ahead and make sure you leave your cell phone number so I can make sure to get back with you at it. Unlike immigrants that are here, because you're coming to be a new digital nomad, you don't pay taxes when you're working for a company that's actually back in the States. So you're not getting taxed twice on your money. You're just getting taxed from the country that you're actually from, if that in fact is where you're a digital nomad from and you're working for a company there. We are only 1 hour away from Mexico's #2 largest city in Mexico, Guadalajara. And the numbers I get are anywhere between 5 and 6 million. So it's a really large city. And you can take a bus to get there, it's about an hour, or you can drive to get there, and it's about an hour. So very accessible. There's one freeway or highway that actually gets you right there. If that's something you have an interest in doing, is going to Guadalajara. So I think the main thing that I just want to hit home for you is, this is a great place to come and be able to be in an area that is like paradise. You're around a lake, You've got a lot of friendly people. There's a lot of people here that speak English. And I would say if you're looking for something or a place that would be a place you could call home, I believe that Lake Chapala is a great choice for you, even if you're not already retired. And you know, one of the other things about living in Mexico is this: the warm Mexican people are so welcoming, unlike them coming to the States or the experience in the States. Or like Barbara and I were having a talk the other night, conversation, that when we were in the States a year ago, we could not believe how unfriendly people were. You could say hi, they don't say hi back. And we agree that we were there for 3 weeks, but it was 3 weeks too long. So we love being here in Mexico. And as I say, we've celebrated now just over 3 years. So friend, I hope that's been helpful for you. I hope it provides you some information that gives you a little bit more clarity of what it's like, not only living in Mexico, but living in paradise here in Lake Chapala. So as always, thank you so much for supporting this channel, being part of this community. You have a great day, and I'll see you on the next video.